Hello everyone, welcome to an all new edition of Viral. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix here, as we talk about it's a classic he say, she say matter as Gabrielle Union addresses the issue about her concerns about America Got Talent, toxic work environment, while host Terry Crews believes ain't nothing really going on, it's a safe working environment, and it sparks controversy and uproar among social media. But first things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag viral here on Connect, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Hey, we do Viral for you. Viral is the infotainment show for you as we dig deep into backstories with issues like Terry Crews versus Gabrielle Union over America's Got Talent work toxic environment. All right, now. Actress Gabrielle Union was chosen to judge America's Got Talent during the season last year. Things were okay at first, but then there was a report came that Union was leaving the show. Watch this.
Gabrielle Union has more to say about her unexpected firing from America's Got Talent. She's schooling Simon Cowell's production company on the proper way to apologize. She was fired from the show after she raised concerns about racially insensitive jokes on the set that she says were never addressed. She also says that she was subject to excessive notes on her physical appearance. Union retweeted this out, saying a proper apology includes sincerely admitting wrongdoing, loudly correcting your mistake, and laying out steps to correct your behavior. Meantime, Simon Cowell's production company released a statement saying, quote, "We remain committed to ensuring a respectful workplace for all employees. We are working with Mrs. Union to hear more about her concerns." And, you know, Julianne Hough has been echoing her sentiment, and she's not going to be returning to America's Got Talent either. So you have two individuals who feel the same way, Gabrielle Union leading the charge.
Well, NBC star Deborah Messing, Will and Grace, like she made NBC for a while, she also spoke out against the network. Apparently, Jay Leno made a joke about some Korean markets and dogs, and some Asian workers were very offended. She brought that up, nothing was done.
Wow.
Then someone else said something racially insensitive. She brought that up, nothing was done. At that point, apparently, allegedly, according to her, she was just let go. By the way, she is one of the most popular hosts they have ever had. She brought a great talent to the stage.
Well, not to mention how many times they allegedly told her that your hair is quote unquote too black.
That's it.
You can't wear it this way. It's too black. Or you can't have this many styles. It's too black. That is so racially
You don't do that these days.
And discriminatory.
I'll say this. I think that we are just looking at, and the reason that this is so shocking us is we're looking at almost an archaic way of running your business. Like we've full disclosure on this show. We're human beings. We have discussion. We have disagreements. But what we do is we go upstairs, we close the door in the conference room, and we talk it out.
Yep.
And this seems like something that could have been handled. If somebody said, "Oh, you were offended by that," here's the person that said that. Here's what they were thinking. We could have squashed this, but instead they basically said, "Shut up. This is how we do things here." And now they have terrible press because they fired one of their most popular hosts of all time. And that's not just conjecture. You can look at the internet. Jeff, anytime I text with AGT hashtag, I get this much social interaction. You can prove now in the court of law that you are the most popular host, and there's going to be a lawsuit.
Wrongful termination, my friend.
And it's 1 year into a 3-year contract.
Wow.
I think Miss Union's
But
going to sit pretty.
like, just take this aside. How does this work if someone gets fired now? Because there's two sides to every story. All we're hearing is Gabrielle Union's side with a couple other people chiming in. But how does NBC defend themselves by saying, why don't they say, listen, she did this, she showed up late every day. She was no good to work with. She was terrible to all the coworkers. Again, I'm just making all this up. They have a side into the story, too.
They actually can fire anyone at will according to certain contracts. So they don't even have to defend themselves. They can just say, hey, it wasn't working out, and they can move on. So you're right. They don't actually have the burden of proof. She does. And unfortunately, though, there's going to be people backing her up. A lot of NBC, I believe Ellen Pompeo from ABC also backing her up. So it is going to be a
And let's remember, when there's a live audience, there's a lot of eyewitnesses.
All right, Gabrielle Union claims there was a unsafe workplace environment. It was toxic. That was shocking to the public to hear, and NBC wanted to shut down these rumors and reports and innuendo. Now host Terry Crews gets involved. He went on the Today Show, on the third hour of the Today Show, and addressed the situation about AGE not having a safe work environment. He spins it and throws Gabrielle Union under the bus with this.
Renewed because she reported a toxic atmosphere existed at the show. You're at the show. Is there a toxic atmosphere?
First of all, I can't speak for sexism because I'm not a woman, but I can't speak on behalf of any racism comments. That was never my experience on America's Got Talent. In fact, it was the most diverse place I have ever been in my 20 years of entertainment. The top 10 acts were Asian, women, older, younger, black, white. It was everything in the gamut. Now, I have to say this, too. When you look at what the allegations are about, it was given by an unnamed source. My thing is, you know, it's funny because I believe you should listen to women. You should always believe women. So I asked my wife what I should do. And she was like, first of all, if it's coming from an unnamed source, because Gabrielle Union has not made any statement to this day about any of these allegations publicly. Yeah. So
have you spoken to her?
I have not. I reached out, but I have not heard anything. And so my thing was, my wife said, well, if she hasn't made a statement, why would you? Yeah. And I said, you know what? I'm going to listen to her.
All right, Terry Crews believes everything was okay, and he did not know Union was going through her issues with the show and its producers. Now, it's not a surprise. Remember Nick Cannon, the original host, and address his concerns about the show. All right, we heard a lot. We have heard that Tyra Banks support Gabrielle Union. Well, she was a host of the show as well. She hosted the season and left. Well, Terry Crews said that he listens to his wife and asked what he should do, and she gave him a vague, concrete response, which she's saying if Gabrielle Union didn't go out to the public, you know, don't you go out to the public. But I'm like, she just did. She's saying what she's saying, but I guess Terry Crews trying to keep his household in order for, you know, not to go over the establishment and stuff, and he didn't want to upset corporate America, and he wanted to keep everything intact. Well, you know, there's more dignity and integrity than that. If, you know, a lot of people saying Gabrielle Union stood up for him when he had his issue with some producers touching his butt and stuff. He felt violated, and now he can't do the same for Gabrielle Union, which a lot of people saying that he threw her on the bus. He didn't really try to hear her out and be more concerned about it. So you know how that go. All right, let's hear what you people had to say about this whole Gabrielle Union and Terry Crews incident regarding America's Got Talent. Watch this.
Hollywood Unlocked, my friend. Some people don't like you.
A lot of people, no, a lot of people don't like me, but the truth hurts, right?
Jason Lee, everybody.
Thank you.
Jason, I feel that people don't like you because, like me, you speak your truth, and that's that.
Yeah.
But you also socialize. See, I speak my truth, and then I leave the show, I go in the house, I slam the door. But you socialize. Give me something stirring in your beef pot right now. Just go.
Well, I mean, really quick, we launched a show called Problematic on YouTube, and I responded to Kevin Hart. He had come on the Hollywood Unlocked Instagram and criticized the post we did. So I called my team and said, come to the house, get the cameras. We did a 6-minute video. And he wasn't really happy, but he called me and we had an interesting conversation.
What did you call him out about?
Well, I just said that I think that A-list black celebrities forget black journalists when they get famous. And that, you know, he should show more support to people like me and you. And I said, come on the show. He still hasn't come on the show.
Do you know his wife?
I don't know his new wife. I know his ex-wife.
Well, continue.
No, well, I had her on the show, my podcast, Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored, and I had asked her, you know, if she met the new wife, before the new wife met her kids, and she said no.
Jason.
That's not messy. That's just something, I mean, most women would want to meet the woman that's going to be around their children.
Continue.
And so he didn't like that. What can I say?
Did he come see you?
No, he hasn't pulled up yet. He did call me on the phone, though. We had a 30-minute conversation. So, I mean, listen, I don't want no beef with Kevin Hart, but I'm going to continue to tell the truth. If it pisses everybody off, I got my ticket to heaven already, and I ain't tripping.
Okay. Terry Crews and Gabrielle Union are going through something.
Yes. Okay, so Gabrielle Union was recently fired from America's Got Talent after she claimed that producers had her working in a toxic and racist work environment. And so Terry Crews, I don't know if you watched Everybody Hates Chris. Well, everybody hates Terry now because the host of America's Got Talent was just asked about Gabrielle's claims on the Today Show last week, and he didn't have her back and said, in fact, he said he's never experienced a toxic culture. Take a look.
First of all, I can't speak for sexism because I'm not a woman, but I can't speak on behalf of any racism comments. That was never my experience on America's Got Talent. In fact, it was the most diverse place I have ever been in my 20 years of entertainment.
Now people slammed Terry and said that he was a coon for selling out Gabrielle Union.
A what?
I didn't say that. That's what
I
the people
haven't heard
said.
that word since the 19 before I was born.
Oh, he was. Listen, I didn't hear it.
I call him a company man.
Yeah.
A company man is somebody who goes along to gets along and really does not have a voice for anything but just collect the check and.
But see, that's what happens. They go along and to get along until people like you and I catch them, and then they do what everybody does. They go to Twitter and apologize.
That's why you're here, Go.
So he said, I want to apologize for the comments I made. I realize there are a lot of black women hurt.
You called him a coon.
No, I didn't call him a coon. They called him a coon. Anyway, there are a lot of black women hurt and let down by what I said and also by what I didn't say. Gabrielle, I want you to know it was never my intention to invalidate your experience, but that is what I did. I apologize. I mean, he was in the movie White Chick, so I don't know if he knows disrespecting black women is wrong.
I like Terry Crews, but I like Terry Crews for exactly who he is. He's like the funny guy. He's not ever going to have a real opinion. I see you in the second row, the white lady right there with the black and the V-neck. You, right there. You're looking up. Now you're looking down. Next to her. You with the in the face, right? He's like a nice guy, and sometimes you know people like that, and they're nice to know, but you can never go to them for a formal opinion. Terry is that kind of guy, and he loves his wife, and he loves his kids. He's probably happy to be off the 50-yard touchdown line and just be a broadcaster, and he's made a really good career. So he doesn't need to get involved with the messiness of today's life. However, we all have to become involved in order to have some sort of thing. He's just so vanilla. He's like,
Well.
So, Gabrielle, did she dig in that?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
No. Gabrielle has not responded, but her husband Dwayne Wade did, and he said, "Someone please take Terry Crews' phone." So it seems like they're not accepting his apology. What do you think?
Well, Brenda just gave me the 30-second. It's time for the Inside Scoop. Here with the dish is entertainment journalist, our friend Devin Simone. Yay! Looking fabulous.
Thank you.
Still engaged.
Still engaged.
Wonderful. All right, let's talk about Gabrielle Union and America's Got Talent.
Okay, so Gabrielle Union, as you guys may know, she and Julianne Hough were the most recent judge additions to this season of America's Got Talent. Well, last week it was announced that they were fired after just one season.
Right.
Which is sort of a big deal. Usually they stay for a little longer than one season.
Such an easy job, too.
It's an easy job. It's a really great job to get. And so Variety is reporting that she was actually fired, though, for being sort of loud in her complaints about about what she describes as a toxic work environment. So Variety is reporting that allegedly Gabrielle felt like she and Julianne Hough were getting too many criticisms for their hair, their makeup, their wardrobe. Allegedly, Gabrielle was told that her hairstyles were too black for America's Got Talent. Allegedly, Jay Leno came on as a guest judge and made an offensive joke, sort of referencing Asians eating dogs as meat. And Gabrielle complained and said it should go up to Human Resources, and they just said, we'll cut the joke. And they did, in the end, cut the joke, but nothing else was done. And supposedly there was a male performer that came on impersonating different acts, and when he went to impersonate Beyonce, he put on black gloves, which Gabrielle took to be like blackface, sort of. So there were a lot of different things. Now, Julianne Hough is saying, I'm good. I had a great time at America's Got Talent. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Catch me on my 2 NBC specials, because she does have 2 other shows with NBC.
Okay.
But Gabrielle is saying thank you for the support. She's not denying any of the rumors or what's going on.
Well, you know, Dwayne Wade does, even though he's retired, I'm sure he's got a hefty amount of money still. And Gabrielle Union is a great actress. I think this sounds like a 50-50 thing.
Okay.
It does sound like a black thing.
Okay.
But, you know, in NBC, you all really do. You haven't necessarily been that network who understands black people. So, you know, maybe there's some understanding you all can do on you, like, step into the new age, okay? But I also feel like maybe Gabrielle, in her complaining, they looked at her as being entitled, like she's coming in as Mrs. Wade, and she doesn't really need this paycheck, so she's walking around here, like for instance, Simon smokes inside.
Right.
Like, he can't take his cigarette outside. Like, who does that?
Right.
You know, like NBC, you need to get on. Simon, I know it's his show, but there is rule and protocol. Now, I hear that Gabrielle's allergic to cigarette smoke.
Right.
Well, then maybe she shouldn't have taken the job.
Right.
When she found out that Simon smokes inside.
Why didn't they put that in her contract or something specifically if that was going to be an issue?
Because most people don't think people smoke inside.
I mean,
like really?
That's true. But it's Simon Cowell, like anything
I don't
goes.
care.
Like,
I know people who smoke cigarettes, even they go outside in their own house. It's like a weird thing to smoke inside. Like, who smokes inside?
Hey, man, take a look. I'm trying to mourn my homeboy, but I see this clown, Terry Crews, all over the internet. Say, man, listen, bro. Keep your comments to yourself, bro. If you ain't with us, you against us. Point blank. I'm sitting there trying to mourn my homeboy, and I see you saying all this shit, trying to contradict Gab's story. Say, man, listen. You are a clown. Your old big steroid ass was complaining about some dude rubbing on your lap, and you ain't do nothing about it. You just complained. You know what I'm saying? We ride with D-Wade. That's our partner, and we gonna ride for his wife. How could dare you contradict somebody's story? You should just kept your mouth closed, but you a whole clown, and now you just want to get defensive talking about the only woman I gotta satisfy is my wife. Man, so what? You a clown. Nobody asked for your opinion. Worry about that dude that rubbed his hand over your lap that your big ass didn't do nothing to. Terry Crews, you're a whole clown, bruh. We riding for Gabby. Now back to mourning my homeboy.
Question of the week is, do you feel Terry Crews threw Gabrielle Union under the bus? If you choose no, you're going to choose Kim. And if you choose yes, you're going to choose Zakia.
All right. Most of you people are hearing your concerns and you making out loudly as you can that Terry Crews was wrong on this point, that he should have took heed to Gabrielle Union's advice and should have sided with her rather than going against her, and his wife as well, just playing off like, oh, this Gabrielle Union's issue. Well, if Gabrielle Union's going through it, what you think? What they gonna think about him as a black male? So you have to think of all that. So the question is, where do we go from here? You know, a host that hosts a television show on national TV, a judge that was on the show, and she's no longer with that company no more because of working this. NBC did try to hear Gabrielle Union out and try to resolve it, but to no avail. We don't know what the discussions were. But all we know is Terry Crews kind of had to smart himself up on issues like that and not be so semi-ignorant to those matter. All right. Hey, like I said, you tell us what you think. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you think about this whole incident with Crews and Union trying to with the safe workplace environment. All right, this has been Viral, and I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. You've been watching Viral. See you later.